Jump down. Jump down. Nice! That's the way you do it! Brave, there are more of them coming!
What's up, man? Hello. How's the game looking on stream? I tweaked it a little bit earlier today before I went out for lunch. Try to make this run as best I can. Run and look the best I can. It's just, like really muddy looking. It's a lot clearer now that I disabled the dynamic resolution scaling. I think is why it looks so bad. I'm guessing they use like really aggressive dynamic resolution scaling to make this game run. It's pretty hectic. It's pretty much like even more stuff going on in a Muso game on crappy Switch hardware. But if you're playing on emulator, you can turn all that off. Now that I've compiled all the shaders, it's running better too. I kind of didn't want to do any more videos for this until I got it looking and running better. And now that it doesn't have to compile shaders anymore, it's doing pretty good, I think. Seems like it anyway. This game is stuttering a lot. I don't know if it's
Watch your health.
the emulator or having to compile shaders or both, but pretty smooth now. It's about as good as it's going to look. I think it's more the enabling the dynamic resolution scale is helping more.
Have a great drink.
Yeah, this game is Unreal Engine, so it's really easy to make mods for it, I guess.
Grave, there are more of them coming!
More of them coming, good.
Hurry, Grave! Faster!
How's it going? I'm okay.
Dusty's in trouble. We need to get to her.
okay?
Defend this area, Grace.
What's up, man? Hello. Yeah, I'm just doing some testing with the emulator right now.
Watch your head, Grace.
Probably won't stream this game for a while though, until I beat the game again, because you gotta go through on the easiest difficulty to get a gun that buffs your damage. And it doesn't work like Halo, there.
Much tougher.
You know how old Halo games would give you if you beat the game on like the hardest difficulty, it would give you all the unlockables before it, the trophies. This game doesn't work like that. So you have to, even though I beat the game on normal, I had to go back and beat it on easy. So it's gonna be very boring to watch. There's like no challenge. But I'm just kind of trying to test the emulator right now because I gotta make an overview for this at some point. It doesn't seem like this version of the game is getting much traction. Mostly just because it's releasing in a really stacked month. I mean, you choose Spider-Man 2, Mario Brothers Wonder, or this. I mean, it's pretty obvious what most people are going to choose. They're not even going to give this the time of day, but I do enjoy this game. I'm just trying to make the game look and run as good as I can, and the shader compilation was making it stutter a ton when I first played the game, so I kind of had to play through it once to even play it smoothly. It seems to be working pretty well now, like, better than I thought. So that's good at least. But yeah, this is kind of just a victory run. Once I max him out, I'm just going to save up points, max out Grave, and then, who's the next character? Next character is Harry. Harry from the anime is the next character, and then it's Jensen, the sword guy from this game. They don't have Juji, but they have the sword guy from this game. I guess is going to be the sword character, and then Quartz, the martial artist character, is like the last one. Try to max out some points, level them up. Yeah, you seem to be pretty much invincible on on casual difficulty. They mean it when they say casual. It's not like some games these days where casual is still like an actual challenge. This is piss easy. Doesn't seem to be reducing the enemy count that much. It's pretty much the same. I don't think that's why the game is running better. Need to watch out. I'm invincible. Here are the cheat codes on. I guess there's like no other way they could really have you unlock this because the game is too long for 1cc's. This is for the kind of game it is, kind of a spiritual successor to an arcade game. It's like really long, so I'm guessing they didn't want to do something like that. You would have to play pretty well for like 6 hours. Kind of would have preferred that, to be honest, over just doing this victory run, but it's whatever. At least it looks better now. It doesn't look so grainy. Dynamic resolution scaling is disabled. This game has probably got the most extreme DRS I've seen in a while. It goes like, must go down to like 240p or something. That's probably why it looked a lot worse last time I streamed this. I fix that on my end. There's a Switch modder that... There's Unreal Engine. He does Unreal Engine cheats and stuff, so
Great! There are more of them coming!
The game has no dynamic resolution scaling, so it means it's running at 1080p at all times. It doesn't scale down. And then also, I forced the docked resolution to 1080p. So it still looks way worse than the original version, but it's closer. And I guess because the shaders are compiled, it's going to be running a little bit better too. Yeah, this was kind of a mess to play the first time. It was stuttering constantly. Now it's still doing it a little bit, but not to the point where it's really a big deal breaker. Like, when I start doing the actual hard content in this game, I'm going to want it to not be stuttering and dropping frames all the time. Doesn't really matter right now. I'm on the easiest difficulty trying to unlock stuff, but I didn't want it to be a PowerPoint presentation when the game is, like, actually legit difficult. What's up, Abby?
Yeah.
Great! Watch out! More men! Great! They're coming for the doors!
Have a great drink.
Great! Watch out! Great! There are more of them coming!
Have a great drink.
The Switch version has all the new content and the revamped system mechanics, so yeah.
Great! There's the exit!
I'm just playing on emulator, so don't expect it to run like this. Don't expect it to run or look like this. I'm catfishing people by not saying that it's on emulator. Pirating a game like this is chaotic evil, because it's like made by like 4 people. So I didn't pirate the game, but I knew that it would run better on emulator, so I ripped my copy off
Great! The doors!
my Switch and bought the game and playing it on emulator. So just a heads up, it's gonna look and run way worse. It's gonna look and run a lot worse on real hardware. This game's dynamic resolution scaling is like really extreme, so it's gonna look blurry most of the time you're actually doing anything. It's generally used when there's games where there's like not that much going on at all times, so it's like not that bad, but the screen is exploding constantly whether you're good at the game or not, so I'm guessing on real hardware it's like really blurry, like N64 era blurry. Yeah, I did buy the game legally. I would not be able to sleep at night if I pirated a game made by like 4 people on a shoestring budget. They need the money. They need the money just as much as I need money, so... Yeah, hopefully they get that stuff on PC at some point, but... Seems like there's a lot of barriers involved in doing that I don't quite understand, like publishers or something. But yeah, I probably won't stream that game much anymore until I beat the easy difficulty, because it's probably pretty boring to watch. The easy difficulty in that game is actually like really easy. On normal's not that hard either on the new version, but you can still die. You can still die. You have to pay attention. It might not be as difficult as the original version, but you can still die. Casual seems like you're pretty much invincible, so I don't know how much more of that I want to stream. It'll probably only take like 3 hours to get to the end. Yeah, that game might be on stream hiatus for a bit. Alright, let's go ahead and knock this out, and then we'll play some other stuff. Got a little bit of time to stream. The nice thing about having a jailbroken Switch is you can support the developers. You still buy the game legally, but you don't have to play on shit hardware. It's the best of both worlds. They get their money that they deserve for working hard, and I don't have to play on shit hardware. I still get to support them. I'm sure there's some people that probably think I pirate the games, but I don't. Especially not something like that. I can get, you know, not having much of a moral compass if it's like a EA or first-party Nintendo game. You're obviously not going to go out of business, but a small game like that, I definitely would never want to pirate something like that. I feel like with that game anyway, since they're doing the characters and stuff, I imagine people aren't going to be ripping the DLC. It's probably going to be really hard to find illegal dumps of that, most likely. It's already not getting much traction because they decided to release in like one of the busiest times of the year. I definitely feel like they should have waited. Should have waited like a couple months. Had like all the characters in at launch for a higher price. The marketing for that game is pretty misleading because they put out a video explaining all the changes. It's not just the characters. They like completely revamped the game. They added new mechanics and stuff, but then like they say that there's 4 new characters, and it's like there's not. You have to pay for them, and they're not even out yet. So it's kind of false advertising. They're not included in the base price, and they don't even exist yet. Only the one I was just playing as, the only one that's in the game right now. You know, English isn't their first language, so I'll give them a pass. They're obviously not trying to nickel and dime anybody. Would not be surprised if they're depending on sales of that game to stay afloat. Marketing for that game is a little bit misleading. There's not 4 characters. There will be by the end of the year, not now. At least it's not a blind season pass. I mean, that's one thing that they've done well. I can't stand that shit. We need you to pay us now for content that doesn't exist yet. We're not even going to tell you what it is. You gotta buy blind. They've already revealed who they are. They're even on the eShop. You can see their renders and everything, so that's not bad. But yeah, I don't know how well that game's gonna do. It's got a number of things against it. The first is releasing like the same time as Spider-Man 2, Lords of the Fallen, Mario Wonder. I mean, I think the worst thing is the way that the game is priced too. It's like with the deluxe edition with the DLC and the early purchase bonus is like same price as Mario Wonder. It's like $10 cheaper than Lords of the Fallen and Spider-Man 2. So I think it's obvious what most people are gonna go for. They're not gonna go for Gungrave. I think they should have priced it lower or waited until they had like all the DLC out and then did like a mega edition with everything. I think that would have been better. But it is what it is. I'll help them out as much as I can. I'll definitely come back for all the content and everything, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if what they're doing right now is going to work for them. And plus they have a lot of people upset that the better looking and running version doesn't have any of that stuff. It's a pretty major revamp. They even added new game mechanics, so it's like not just the characters. They actually changed quite a bit. I think people have a right to be pissed off, but I feel like a lot of it is probably publisher bullshit. Publishers like to, have really lofty expectations for small games like that. Expect them to sell like a trillion copies if they don't, and they don't let them update the game anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. Not shock me in the slightest. What's up, Alby?
悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。抵抗無駄です。特戦即決しない。みんなを守る。真実消滅。できる私の位の痛みだ。我が敵の隙を作ります。ビッグダンさあ重要な光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。抵抗みんなを守る透明な結晶よ。私たちに光を与え生まれ変わらせてください。貫く正体のやりくらいの痛みなら平気。私についてくれ。貫く正体のやり一つ理科出産特戦即決しない。さあ終焉な光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。さあ終焉な光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。さあ終焉な光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。絶対に許しません。でき貫く正体のやり理科抵抗無駄です。さあ終焉な光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。抵抗さあ終焉な光を与えましょう。悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します。
This game barely taxes my computer. Look in the upper left-hand corner, I've got MSI Afterburner running. Using 20% of the GPU, 12% of the CPU, at 120 FPS. That's optimization for you right there. This game might not have like big environments or anything. It's still got a lot going on. Gungrave, in comparison, was taking up like triple the amount of processing power to look and run worse. Quite the disconnect in optimization between this game and the Switch emulator. Yes, this PC port is really good. It was well worth the wait. It made us wait a very long time, but it ended up being worth it. Until they didn't want to put out a crap port. It's pretty much the best way to play the game objectively, whether you play on keyboard and mouse or controller. Optimal experience. Especially this year. Excuse me. So bad to be a PC game. This is like one of the best PC ports I've played this year. This Hi-Fi Rush. What else was not a disaster this year? For like newly released games, not stuff that came out prior this year. much this and Hi-Fi Rush. Like the best ports I've played. Actual care and effort put into PC player experience instead of nothing. Okay, you're just not gonna give me a Matrix, are you? There we go. Scumbag.
私の指示に従う滅びるどこ見てんだよ全部消え失せろ全部これですべて今日都に降臨する滅びる破壊これですべてが終了するどんなハーモニーなのクズバーストスラッシャー変化どこ見てんだよ全部消え失せろ準備完了オーバー何をしても時間ですカデンサご清聴ありがとうございますつまり超ここに降臨バーストスラッシャー変化私の指示に従うと滅びるやーどこ見てんだよ全部消え失せろ準備完了オーバーチュアがこの余韻
That's right, next patch is
戦場で苦
the
しむ
saving patch,
魂の
and then next is
癒しになりますように
Esley. I'm very excited for that. I got like 5,000 black cards right now, so I don't know if I'm gonna get him to triple S. Probably double S3. It depends on how lucky I get, because with Bianca, I actually got an early copy. I got an early copy like really early on in the first pity, so it only cost me like $50 to triple S her. Yeah, getting an early copy is pretty uncommon, so you don't want to like really count on it. It'd be nice if I got an early copy of him, then I probably would try to go triple S. She's like not getting power creep for a while. He's actually going to be relevant for some time. Plus, I really like male characters, so I'm not big into the whole waifu thing, so kind of just want him because of that. His playstyle is really cool too. But yeah, hopefully I can get enough cards saved up. He took off half his health bar. That's nuts. And Lee's the MVP after they gave it his leap. Getting busted. Damn, destroyed.
指揮官ナナミとパワーちゃんって超すごいでしょ
That's the thing I like about this game is this character here. He is like a launch character. What they do in this game is it's called Leap, where you have to get a bunch of materials and they buff them like massively. He's like the best fire damage dealer right now. He's like a beginner character. Yeah, he's gonna get power crept in the new version. The new version of Lee is gonna be better than him, but I feel like I'll still be using this one for a while because he's maxed out, right? The only thing that's not maxed on him is his memories aren't resonated. That's it. He has a maxed out weapon. He doesn't have resonances on his weapon either, but I think he will still be better. Will still be better than the new Lee. The base S rank versus this one, I think this one is still going to be better. I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing like two copies of him though. It depends. Depends on my IRL finances and the in-game finances. I don't know how well that's gonna go. 'Cause with Bianca, I got an extra copy. I got an extra copy during the initial pull, so that made it so I could get her to triple S. I only needed like one more copy. Let me see here. Let's do the math. Can I get him to SS3? Let me look at the Phantom Paint Shop. Yeah, if I'm getting about 32 a week, that means I've got another 150 coming. So that'll put me at about 340. So that covers the next patch. So yeah, within the first 2 weeks of the next patch, of the patch after the next one, you need 400 scars to get 30 fragments from here. Yeah, so I could get him to double S3 without spending any money. As long as I keep buying the battle pass, I think I could. But I don't know what the good cutoff point for him is. It's probably SS3. Yeah, I should have enough, hopefully. Alright. Let's go ahead and knock this out. I don't have anyone else with time stop, do I? Yeah,
これで私に借り早期理科期間粛清開始さあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう
That's why time stop is broken. That's why time stop is so busted. It's like the biggest power creep they've done. She has time stop on both parts of her super. When she goes into the mode, and then when she does the air combo, after she does the air combo. Get all the time bonuses. You've got about a good 5 minutes to bail on this guy, and then you get to move. The other two don't have time stop, so they're actually gonna make the timer go down. She won't.
悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう
The timer's going up instead of down.
悪夢の終わりを
This character is so
ここに
busted.
宣告します
Most busted characters they've ever added. Actually, yeah, I think the patch on the Chinese version was the most money they've ever made on this game in a, like, 1 month period. They made the most money when they put her in the game. Like, yeah, I see why. Busted ass character. I've already maxed out the time bonuses. You don't even need the other characters. In fact, if I put them out on the field, it's like an active detriment. because they don't have time stop.
さあ終焉の光を与えましょう
Even if it's not powered up, you're still getting another time stop.
悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します絶対に許しませんさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します絶対に許しませんさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告しますさあ終焉の光を与えましょう悪夢の終わりをここに宣告します
Damage. He barely even got the move.
終幕です
It's like in hyper armor, but he still can't move, so it might as well be a combo. Virtual hit stun. How much damage was that? 22 million damage. Nice. Alright. Well, there's my contribution. That took off a huge chunk of his health, actually. Who we got for A ranks? Do I even feel like doing this? Not really. I'll do it later. Alright, what now? What now? Let's, put another game in trial. Don't count on me finishing this game. I'm kind of mixed on it so far, but go ahead and give it a shot. I don't have the new Mario. I'm not playing Spider-Man 2, so I've got some time here. It's been pretty stacked weekend for games, huh? Spider-Man 2 and Mario. Spider-Man doesn't have New Game Plus, though. A lot of people are really pissed about that. They kind of just don't have basic functionality because they want you to wait. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty bunk. Why do you have to wait for New Game Plus? It should be like a standard thing that you have.
Someone's coming this way.
So your power lets you see the future, Naomi? Can you choose when to look?
Yes, but I can only see a little ahead.
That's an amazing power.
I'm happy to hear you say that.
Watch out for electric attacks. You won't be able to move if you're electrified.
Be safe, Kasane.
It's all right, Naomi. Kasane is the top cadet. Of course, you know that since you're her sister. I'm so stupid.
No, thank you for reassuring me.
Burrowed into the ground, but it should show up if you become invisible.
Here we go. Let's go. We did it.
You can't see it, but the owner is still around. Use SAS to find it.
Leave it to me.
That was impressive.
I can hit it. There.
Do it.
Kasane is okay. think Hanabi is with Captain Seto, but I'm worried about what happened to Kaguro.
Kaguro can take care of himself. But more importantly, we need to focus on the enemy in front of us.
You're right. Let's take care of these guys first. The shell is broken. Give it everything you have.
I'm sprouting.
Let's keep this up. We did it!
Naomi,
Once you decide to fight, don't lose focus. A second's hesitation can mean death. Got it? Yes.
Damn it! Not yet!
where's the enemy?
Good. Come on.
I'm so confused. How is Naomi and others? What happened? Can't she hear us anymore?
It's close. Go. I need you, Gemma. Damn it! Good. Where are you?
I think I can see something. Luca, try to keep their way.
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot. Attacks come from the ground too. Watch your feet and don't let your guard down.
I can still fight. This is bad.
That attack worked. That must be a weak spot.
case you're wondering, I actually have seen the story for this. A friend of mine who's also a streamer played this when it came out, so I know the whole story. It's not very good.
We should be quiet about what happened today.
And I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick with this game. There's some things about it that really bother me. Mostly the lack of animation canceling. I really don't like that you get locked in animations a lot. I don't know why there's so much animation lock, but maybe it gets better later. Yeah, I'm kind of like not liking that. Some of these animations have really long recovery. Seems like you can't cancel out of anything until the end of an animation.
Something's not right.
And you can hear me pushing the button. I'll only do it when the animation ends. So there's a fuck ton of animation lock that like really bothers me. It's not as bad as Arise, mostly because you do have the telekinesis cancels, so you can use that, but that's limited to a bar, so...
Those guys were national
and you
defense
can't,
forces.
it just feels like you're sitting duck
They take
sometimes.
Naomi.
I definitely
Why
would like
did
it
she
better
just
if it had
change
like
into another?
a animation cancel mod or
There's a lot we
something.
don't understand, but it's a
Yeah,
fact that
it's pretty
Naomi
whack.
is another
I don't know
now.
why there's so much animation lock. Animation lock in a game like this just doesn't feel good. The combat is pretty original, I'll give it that. They're trying to do something new instead of just Batman Arkham or Souls combat copied again. I'll give it that, but yeah. Having so much animation lock is definitely a really weird choice.
Isolate them.
I don't know why they went that direction. Maybe I could commission a mod for this too, animation cancel, like the one for Arise. Because that made that game actually like somewhat fun to play at least. But the combat in this is still better than Arise, even though it suffers from the same problem. Log animations just don't feel worth using because you can't cancel out of them.
Yuito, did Major General Fubuki ask you to be quiet about Naomi?
Yeah, he did. He told me to say the same thing to Kasane. Did he tell you too?
Yeah. I don't like not telling the truth.
Thanks.
What's up, Six String? Hello.
Good work, Yuito. Sorry.
I'm alright.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I think the thing that throws people off, you watch someone play this game, is that the characters actually aren't... They aren't, like, typical anime characters in the way that they look. They all take, like, anti-aging drugs or something. There's this one, he looks like a teenager, but his voice is like 40. It's like a legit, like, middle-aged person doing his voice. It turns out that he's been taking the anti-aging medication for, like, a really long time. The main character, you see him in the future later, like, decades later, and he looks like, because of the meds, he looks like almost exactly the same. He doesn't even have, like, peach fuzz. He has, like, a couple little hairs growing on his chin. And he should be, like, 70 at that point. But yeah, that game's story is pretty whack. Gameplay seems decent. Yeah, I really don't like how you can't animation cancel in that game. It's very awkward. I don't know what it is, man, but like action games just like don't want you to cancel anything anymore. Valkyrie Elysium was like that. You had to do that weird guard cancel that would like it would stop the string, but there wasn't like an actual animation for it. So you could start another string, but you would never notice that unless someone told you. That game kind of had the same problem. Like, they didn't want to just give you a dodge cancel. They wanted you to do all these like advanced tech to do stuff that you should be able to do just by default. I could say the same for this game as well. They got rid of pretty much all the tech in Wo Long compared to Neo 2. Or you had like your yokai abilities and your yokai counter. You could use those to cancel any animation. You could use phantom counters. You know, it basically would just be leave you in place. Or if you were feral, if you're the feral counter, you could use that as well. And you could actually use it as like a dash cancel. That game feels really stiff until you learn the tech too, but I don't know what it is. It's just like we don't want you to dodge cancel anymore. We want you to work your ass off just to make your character responsive. It's like you should have the tech, but like just being able to animation cancel shouldn't be this big ordeal. That was the main problem with this game at launch, was that the R1s had so much recovery and there was no animation canceling, so most of them were legit useless. They were a straight liability and get you killed. Now that they've mostly fixed that, the fact that it doesn't have animation canceling isn't that bad, but still, like, just let me do it. Just let me have fun. Don't gatekeep my fun. They're supposed to be doing more of that. They did a director's letter a couple days ago. They're saying they're going to do more adjustments. But yeah, that's a very common opinion. You're not alone in feeling that. Definitely, you're in the majority there, not the minority. I mean, they've mostly fixed other aspects of the game, right? So, I think they actually will be able to fix most things. I just wonder if they're going to nerf the build that I'm using, because it is very strong. But it's like also the hardest one to get, so I don't know if maybe they feel that they don't need to nerf it just because it's so hard to get, but I don't know. Yeah, the companions are really useless in this game. I definitely, I agree with you there. They're very useless. I don't know, the auto salvage mostly fixes the storage problem, in my opinion. Definitely wouldn't object to them adding it, but auto salvage really helps. I think they just need to give money more of a use, because like right now, there's no point in selling anything. That's the problem. The economy in this game is kind of messed up. Because salvaging things is so much better than ever selling anything. Selling only means something at like the beginning of the game where you're like strapped for cash, just like any other video game with money in it. But then like, once you start getting better stuff, there's no reason to ever salvage anything or sell anything. It's completely pointless. They need to have some kind of gold sink, I think, in this game. Salvaging... The problem with salvaging is that... well, you get jewel fragments for doing it, and then you also get the essence off it. You know, you get one that's inheritable that you can put on any piece of gear, which is a good thing. The problem is that the jewel fragments, it's 1,000,000, you get 1,000,000 copper for selling 1,000 of them. And if, just like doing this for a couple minutes, you get a couple thousand of them, right? So it's 1,000,000 every few minutes. Just from auto-salvaging. That's not even counting stuff that you salvage yourself. So you're getting the, you know, the inheritables, and then you're also getting the jewel fragments, which you sell for money. So there's never a reason to sell anything. Once you get to this point, the money is basically just useless. I feel like they should have some things that you could buy with money that are like expensive, but like also useful. I think that would really go a long way, because right now, you learn really quick that selling stuff is pointless. There's no reason to ever sell anything. Selling stuff is just objectively worse in every way. There's no reason to ever do it. They didn't really balance it out very well. They definitely need a gold sink for sure. Salvaging is just too strong. There's no downside to it whatsoever. So why would you not do it? The game is basically begging you to just salvage everything. Because there's no downside. There's no decision making whatsoever. Like, yeah, if you have it, salvage it. Because there's no... The only gold sink is making weapons, making your gear, and getting it. But, like, even that is pretty minimal. Yeah, but I feel like they could use something else, just so that there's actually a reason to consider selling stuff. That's just my take after like 90 hours of this game. I haven't played as much as others, but it was just things I notice. Let's see how many fragments I get now. It's probably going to be a couple hundred. You can only stack 9999 of them, so the game is basically begging you to sell them. Let's see here. How many am I going to get? 617. That's like 600k right there. From doing nothing. It's a donation from the game. Game dropping the gift subs. Yeah, they do have a better gold sink than most games like this, where you get a lot of trash drops. I do feel that they have a pretty good gold sink. It's just still feels like the way the game is right now. There's no reason to ever sell anything. I mean, Diablo 4 has the reverse problem, right? They have amount of loot that this game has, but like 2% of the space. So you constantly have to inventory manage, which is what really sucks about that game. They have Diablo-style loot, but you have no space, no room to do anything with it. You have to spend like way too much time looking at that stuff. I actually think that's like one of the biggest things that pushes me away from that game. I feel like these games handle it better. You get a bunch of junk, but you can get rid of it quick. And getting rid of it actually gives you, like, decent things in return. I like that better than... You gotta look at that stuff constantly. You can't just play the game. Yeah, you have to pay too much attention to loot in that game, and you have so little space to store it that it's a constant thing that you have to do. This game's inventory management can still get a little overbearing at times, but it's nowhere near that bad. You can still... You can be pretty hands-off on it. Maybe every couple hours you gotta look at it. It's not that bad. Could be worse. I'm hearing Season 2 is a pretty big upgrade, actually. It's actually a pretty significant upgrade, but, you know, it's still $70, so... You gotta gauge how much you're actually gonna play at that price, you know? It's not impulse buy price unless you're balling. I'm sure not. It's kind of the thing about video games now. Don't buy them for $70 unless you're either a content creator or you know you're gonna play it right away. You have the time and the ability, the drive to actually play it. I think that's why people complain about their backlog so well. They don't have self-control. They go like buy like every game when it's full price when it comes out, and then like even if they want to play it, they don't have time because they're adults. They don't have as much time to play as they were when they were kids. It's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't buy those games full price. You either wait until you have time. Wait until you have time, or wait until the game is dirt cheap, so that even if it gets backlogged, it's not like you're losing a lot of money. Yeah, as a content creator, I don't always have that choice, but I don't know, a lot of the games I play kind of retain their value anyway, like the Muso games and stuff are generally like, the biggest price cut they get is like maybe 30% off, so it's not enough to make a difference. Just like people that play Pokemon, you know, you can buy Pokemon whenever. The cheapest a Pokemon game is going to be is like $45 instead of $60. It's like not that big of a difference. You know, if you play Call of Duty, Borderlands, those kinds of games, it's like, yeah, don't buy them at launch unless you know for a fact your schedule and your drive to play video games is at an all-time high. Because otherwise you're wasting money. It really depends on what kinds of games you play. I'd say people that only play like first-party Nintendo games can kind of just buy them whenever they want. It doesn't really matter if it's backlogged because the price is going to be pretty significant. It's not going to significantly decrease. Nintendo doesn't devalue their games as much as everyone else does. It's like, yeah, if you're not going to play that Pokemon game until a year later, or that Mario game, it's like, it's going to be the same price. You probably have more content and polish. It's not that bad. Buy it when you have the money, but Namco stuff, for example, is like, they really devalue their stuff really quick, so it's not worth buying their $90 deluxe editions unless you know you're going to be on it right away. Like the moment the game comes out, it's going to be like the majority of your gaming time. Otherwise, yeah, don't bother buying it. It's a waste of money. Yeah, like the new Mario game looks good. I'll probably buy it eventually, but like what I'm just saying right now is it's gonna be $60 forever, right? There's no pressure for me to buy it right now. when I have time and money, and I'm not working through backlog stuff like I am now, sure, I'll buy it. It seems worth the $60. But I also know that the value of it is going to stay the same, right? It's not going to change. It's going to stay the same. It'll be $60 a year from now, so if I don't buy it next month and I wait until next year, it's like, it's the same thing, right? We'll probably have free content updates and DLC and stuff. I don't know, there's some good and bad into how Nintendo does their pricing. It's cool that they're like, you know, this game is worth the asking price. It's not a shit value. It's worth what we're asking for it. And we don't want to, like, conform to standards where you need to devalue your games really quick. But at the same time, as a consumer that doesn't have a lot of money, it's like, yeah, unless I'm planning on covering the game, it's it's not worth buying at launch at all. But when I worked at GameStop for a while, they had, this was back in like the beginning of the GameCube, like the middle of the GameCube era, start of the Wii era, that I hung out there. I only worked there for a few months, but I still hung out and stuff. I was friends with the employees. The Generation 1 Pokemon games were still going for like $30. They were like a decade old at that point. They're still going for 30 bucks. Those decrepit old games that were like, they were old feeling when they came out, right? We got them like 2 years later than Japan did. They're still going for 30 bucks because of the fact that you can trade them up to the newer version of the game. That's what I kind of realized, like, yeah, this stuff is like not worth buying. Not worth buying at launch. Unless you're gonna go balls deep on it. It's a waste of money. Pokemon games definitely keep their value, for better or for worse. It just kind of sucks if you want to just play a Pokemon game. You don't care about it being the latest and greatest one. It's like the same price as the new one. The games being broken is definitely a big factor, too. So many games are broken at launch and they barely work. And they want 70 bucks for a product that doesn't work. I totally, I get that, too. This game, I did buy this game on discount. I got it for like 40 bucks off CD Keys or something. I don't remember where I bought it from, but I didn't pay full price because I knew that there was a high chance I wasn't going to like it. But at the same time, the price was right, meaning that I knew I'd come back to the game when they fixed it, which I did. I hated this game at launch, but they've made it into a pretty good product now. Plus, Koei Tecmo stuff is... The only time Koei Tecmo stuff is more than like 30% off is when it's published by another company. It's the good example is Dynasty Warriors, right? Dynasty Warriors games digitally are like never more than a third off, right? Like 33%. It's like the max that they'll go. Unless it's a really old game. They tend to actually, they don't devalue their stuff, right? But then, in comparison, Pirate Warriors 4, the deluxe edition for that is like 20 bucks now. From the same people. And like when Koei Tecmo self-publishes, they don't devalue their stuff very quick. But if somebody else is publishing, you can get their games for like really cheap. Fire Emblem Warriors, those games as well, same thing. Fire Emblem 3 Hopes is like consistently like 20 bucks right now. Go buy it for dirt cheap. And then if you want like Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors games, it's like way more money comparatively from the same developers. It's interesting. Being into Koei Tecmo's products is kind of weird, honestly. Because on like one side it's like Pokemon monetization where it never really gets deeply discounted. So whenever you buy it, you're not really getting ripped off. But then the stuff that the stuff that they make for other companies is like just like everything else. It gets devalued and dirt cheap really quick. So if you wait long enough, you can get the full game for like a fraction of the price. Like Koei Tecmo is pretty weird. They're like half Nintendo monetization, half monetization everyone else does. Where as soon as a game isn't like really relevant anymore, they make it cost like nothing to play, so you can get a good value for your money. Actually, that only really applies if you buy the game digitally. Koei Tecmo keeps it pretty tight-knit. They keep their prices pretty tight-knit when you buy them digitally, but physically they're like dirt cheap if you can find somebody that sells them. I bought Orochi 4 for Switch for like 20 bucks from GameStop. Like not long after it came out either. Like significantly cheaper than what they even sell it for on like Steam and PSN now. On Steam they still want like 40-50 bucks for that game, even though it's been out for years. Yeah, Fire Emblem Three Hopes is like $20 now. It's kind of hard to believe, but yeah, that game is so cheap. It's like dirt cheap. It's crazy how little money they want for it. I keep seeing Wario64 post that it's like $20, which for a Muso game is like insanely cheap. Maybe for some other games. Some other games that might be considered too much, but like for a Muso game from Koei Tecmo, that's insanely cheap, and it's only been out for a year and like 3 months. What's up, Fuma? Hello. Yeah, we're going all over the place today. I did some Gungrave, I did some PGR, and I did some Scarlet Nexus, and now I'm doing Wolong. All over the place today. Musical chairs with video game choices. Morbid Metal I'm waiting on, yeah. Lost Souls Aside is like never coming out. That game is vaporware. I stopped caring about that game. It's been vaporware for so long. I just don't have any more than a casual interest in it. Lost Soul Aside has been vaporware for like years now. It was like they're trying to increase the scope too much. They just need to be like an above average action game and they'll make money. Especially on the new consoles where there's like barely any games to play as it is. They wanna deliver like some kind of monumental product. It's like it already looks pretty damn good. It's just I can't get excited for it anymore because it takes too long to come out. And Nenra, yeah, I'm interested in that game too. Well, they need to exist as a product first. Right now they're just trailers, right? They're really good-looking trailers. It's like when you talk to somebody on a dating site, and and then you find out that they're catfishing you or they're not even a real person. That's kind of what those games are right now. They give you a good first impression, but they're not what they say they are. Mostly because in terms of being a video game, they don't really exist. They're not available to play. There's not even like a playable demo for a lot of those games, so the only thing that exists is what they show you, and they have no release date. A lot of those Chinese games, like that Wukong game, looks really cool, but it's been vaporware for years, so there's so many other games coming out, it's really hard to care. It's like, there's no shortage of things to play right now. I don't really have it in my mind to really put a lot of space in my brain towards something that doesn't even have a release date. There's plenty of existing games to play, and there's also games to get excited about that actually are coming out soonish. They have like a reliable release date. You can tell that they're pretty close to being done. Yeah, video game hype cycles are pretty interesting, just because, you know, you can understand the hype around Spider-Man 2, right? It's a really high-quality game. It's one of the first, like, big exclusives for the PS5. You can understand why people are excited for it, right? And also, they didn't delay the game a bunch. They stuck to the release date. And whether the developers had to crunch like crazy to do that or not is anyone's guess. But from our standpoint, they delivered a decent product, right? When they're like, "Oh, this game looks awesome, and it's to be announced." It's like, well, I don't want to see it now. Then I'm not interested because I've got no limit of other stuff to play. I have backlogged games, and games like this I've already beaten that are still getting content. Like, I don't really care about your game unless I can actually plan around playing it before I'm 60. That's kind of my problem with video game hype cycles right now, is they're really keen to show you stuff when it's like 10% complete. There's like no real reason to show it to you. Yeah, I'm getting tired of the whole thing where they, like, take forever to show you a game. And like, oh, by the way, it doesn't have a release date yet. It's like, I don't care. I don't really care then, I'm sorry. It looks nice, but there's other products I can feasibly be excited about that either already exist, or are games like this that are still getting content, or things that actually have release dates. Like, I'm gonna gravitate towards those. It's got nothing to do with, like, a lowered attention span than normal or anything. It's just, like, the game doesn't exist right now. It's just a 2-minute trailer with mostly CG cutscenes and no gameplay. Like, I really don't care.
仕事しすぎも考えもんだね。
Yeah, they announced Lost Souls Aside, like, what was it, like 6 or 7 years ago? It's a long time ago. Over 5 years at least. And it's still not out. It's just really hard to care. The story with that game kind of makes sense, because the guy was he was making it solo, but then he got a team, and I think like Sony of China or something has like some kind of publishing rights over it or something. So I guess they wanted to promote it into like a big name product because they're trying to expand to other countries. But it's just like, it feels like it has feature and content bloat. They could have released what they had. They could have released what they had, and it probably would have done fine. But they just keep adding more and more stuff to it, to the point that it just feels like it will never release. It looks solid. I definitely will play it. But it's not really something I actively think about right now. I guess that's the word for it. I'll have more space in my brain when it's actually... There's proof that it will actually be playable sometime in the next decade, and maybe I will care. But right now, I have other things to play. I have no shortage of things to play. I'm not going to get hype over something that barely exists. No, I've heard reports that the boss fights are actually pretty good. I've heard reports that they're pretty good. It's just, I've kind of had a self-imposed ban on watching anything from that game because I know it's not something I'll ever have access to anytime soon. At the rate that they're going, I won't have access to it. Yeah, I'm not playing very well. I gotta go soon. I'm gonna get to floor 20 and probably stop streaming for now. So I'm pretty sure Lost Souls aside, given the Sony involvement, is going to be PS5 exclusive. So the less I care about that game, the better, because I'm not buying a console for one game when I've got a more than capable computer. That's a big sell, even for a hardcore action game fan. Pay that much for one game. I can't imagine exclusivity for that game will be that long. It's the first party published Sony games that take like 3 years to come over. But like other stuff, it's generally like only a year, if even that. Sometimes it's only 6 months. Like Spider-Man 2, for instance, I would not expect that on PC until at least 2 years from now. So it's like, if you care about spoilers, you might as well just watch the cutscenes, because you're not going to be able to avoid spoilers for 2 years. But yeah, they are putting their stuff on PC, but the first party stuff all takes like at least 2 years or more to come over. So if you care about story, it's pretty much just like, you're going to have to watch the cutscenes or get spoiled. I personally don't care, but for people that are into the narrative, yeah, they kind of make it impossible to not look at that stuff because they take so long to port it. Yeah, we got Returnal and Ratchet and Clank on PC. Like That was this year, I think. Both those games are like 2 years old. I mean, Spider-Man 2 doesn't even fucking have New Game Plus. Why do you have to wait for New Game Plus? I was watching my friend, he's one of my mods in here. I watched him beat that game. I watched the cutscenes and everything. And it doesn't have fucking New Game Plus. Why is it missing a core gameplay feature that stuff like this game has day one? Why is it missing that? The reason is because they want to get goodwill for having a free content update that the developers probably already made months ago. They want to look good for doing that. It's like, oh, we're looking out for our community. And like, no, you're not. You want a boost in sales for a minimum amount of content that you give out for free that should have been in the base game. You want the boost in sales from it so you can still charge $70 even though the game's not actually done. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people crashing on that game. It seems very unstable. Like, really unstable. Luckily, it's a PS5 game, so it's pretty quick to get back into gameplay, but... yeah, I'm noticing that game is, like, really unstable. It crashes constantly. Way more than you would expect a game of that quality to... expect it to be that unstable. Yeah, they did that with the God of War game, too. That was, I didn't have New Game Plus until, like, 5 months later. And, like, obviously most people didn't care at that point. Because it's a mostly linear single-player game. It's a mostly single-player game. People aren't really gonna go back to it. They aren't really gonna go back to it unless they just completely bored. They're not gonna give a lot of time to that. So like, here it is, 5 months later. Cool, thanks. I already was done with this game 6 months ago. Moved on to greener pastures. I don't care anymore. No, I'm not playing great. I'm not playing very well. It's fine. There he goes. Dead. Better fight. I don't know, the videos people do of this mode are half clickbait, half honesty. And I'm not saying that people are doing it intentionally, it's because of the morale system. If you build your character right, you can get like 20 morale above the bosses, so you kill them really quick. The build is good, yes, but a lot of it is the morale. The morale plays a really big part in how much damage you do, so I generally go for these because you can get like several points of morale. But yeah, there's been a lot of people putting up those videos saying this build is so OP. It's like, well, it's mostly the morale system, right? The morale system has a really big bearing on it. It's not just the build. That's why I haven't really been putting up a lot of those videos. Alright, well, I gotta go feed the ferocious beast shortly, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a stream. Just felt like playing some games and testing out Gungrave. It seems to be running a lot better so far. Hopefully it'll continue to stay that way. Yeah, I've only got like 77 more levels to get on this, and then from there it's pretty much just maybe stock up some experience and some hooves for whatever thing I do next. But I've already got like 3 maxed out weapons, so I'm probably going to save up hooves for maybe if they add some more stuff. But yeah, next major update's not till December, so there's still plenty of time to prepare. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and probably stop now. Yeah, I didn't realize how late it was. It's like 6:13. Yeah, I don't know if I'll stick with Scarlet Nexus. I might give it more of a chance, but it's just kind of like okay at best right now. I bought it for really cheap. It's been backlogged for like 2 years, but in my defense, they kept fucking updating that game for like a year and a half, and it felt like something I was only gonna play once. So, like, they finally stopped updating it recently. So, I might give it a couple more streams and see if I really like it, or if I'm gonna flush it. There's also Star Citizen 6. There's the, what's it called? Second Story R is coming out, I think, in like 2 weeks. It's in 9 days, actually. Yeah, we'll probably play the demo for that, later tonight, and see if I want to cop that or not. Well, that's coming sooner than I thought. I thought it was the end of November. But yeah, I might grab that game. Let me see. Let me check GG deals before I go. How much is it going to cost? I gotta pay the person who made my mods. I gotta pay him $50, and then there's PGR, Battle Pass, and everything I gotta pay for. I don't really think there's any other games I really care for next month, so we'll probably do the new Star Ocean, but I gotta try the demo first. See if I really vibe with the combat. I might not. Yeah, Green Man Gaming's got it for like $40, so yeah, I might do that. So we'll try out the demo later. Yeah, Humble's got it for 42 bucks, so we'll try the demo later, but for now I must go. I'll catch you guys later. Later tonight I'll come back. See ya.